Okay, so in our last video we covered an overview of the document hierarchy and created a basic structure for our document. Now we're going to start inserting some content. It'll start to look a little bit closer to a finished article, but it's not really until we get to adding the styles that it'll start to look anything like a web page. Okay, so in this video now we're just going to take ourselves to the point where we have these images in and we've got some text. So with the structure that I've got in Dreamweaver, in design view, we've got a header, we've got an article, we've also got a section, we've got a footer. I'm going to place the header image in the header, and it's pretty straightforward, that one. So I'll highlight the text, and then from the insert panel choose from common image, and just a normal image. It should then take me to my folder structure. A few seconds. Hope this doesn't conflict with the video. Images, and then I'll find my header 1 is the one I created for this. So that's the one that's 1000 pixels. You can see there the dimensions. Click OK. Alternative text. I'll put legal and ethical header image. You can actually create a long description file, which with some images, particularly photographs, it's probably recommended from the perspective of accessibility to describe to screen readers exactly what is in an image rather than just a short alternative text. But for a header image, I think really it doesn't need to be particularly descriptive beyond this is the header image for the page. Okay, and goes the image, and it's actually not overwritten the text, so I'll delete the text myself. That is still in the header, and it's an image. So if I have a look at the inspector at the bottom there, it tells me body, header, image. Then I've got article heading, which will become the article heading. In this case, I think was user experience in interactive media. I'll then highlight that, and I'm going to turn it into a heading. So that's essentially going to, rather than me controlling things like point size, I will select heading, and in this case heading 2. Heading 1 can only be used once, and generally speaking that would be a page heading. So I could use heading 1 and then have section headings, but I'm going to stick with heading 2 in this case. Then we've got the section, which is where I'd insert my text. Before the heading, I would insert an image. If it'll just let me go back to header and then article. Okay. I'll have to put a return in to start off with and change that into none. Or even paragraph for now, in which I will insert the banner image. I can use the insert images here, or I could actually just, as simple as that, find the banner 1 in the file inspector, drag it and drop it. Seems to be a bit buggy at the moment. We'll go this way around instead then. Okay. So in this case, handshake image. Oops. Get a right image this time. Okay. Handshake image. And it goes. Okay, and then I'll get the text that I require to replace the first section. And I've already got some here, is some I made earlier kind of text. So I'll just copy that and paste in there. You can do the same from Word if you want. Just keep the formatting simple. And then let's have a look in the background again. Okay, so in split view. In fact, let's start at the top. Okay, so we can see now inside of the body, inside of the head, there's a tag IMG. Now, image is a tag that can actually exist on its own. Technically, it's a self-closing tag, unlike header, article, section, paragraph. And the width and the height are by default defined, although moving forwards, I wouldn't want them defined in the tags themselves, because these are the kinds of things I would like to handle in the styling so that we can make the page responsive to screen size. But for our first example, it will do for now. Again, inside of the article, let's show the header. We've got article, and then we've got a paragraph, and then an image. We don't actually need the paragraph. We just had to put that in to be able to separate from the heading H2, which is here. And that shows us the heading we created. Then we've got the section, and then we've got a few paragraphs. You'll notice that the paragraph formatting came with the copy and paste. Then the section closes, the article closes, and then we've got the footer, as we've seen. And I suppose at this point, it's probably a good idea to have a look and see what it looks like in a browser. The design view essentially shows you what it should look like in a browser. It's not 100% perfect. So in order to do that, I need to file save. So that's Control S, or file and save. And then from the drop down, you can choose any browser that's been installed. I'm going to preview in Chrome. There we go. This is what the page looks like without styling. So the images look pretty consistent, except for where they're positioned and the gaps. And then the text kind of flows right to the side of the page. That's because the text will resize based on page size by default. So that's quite useful in some respects. Okay, and so that is our first page in its entirety in terms of content, and in the next video we'll be looking at the styling of that.